Okay, so this webinar, look, it's all come about because I've been doing a few presentations up and down the country in the last couple of months. I've been really blessed to be asked to go and do these things. And one question that's kept popping up is, how do you create a business that sells itself? Now, if you hear lots of clicks, I apologise. It's because I've got a clicker in my left hand for your screen, and I've got a mouse in my right hand for my computer screen here, so I can see what I'm talking about. If at some point, obviously, the two get mixed up, I apologise in advance. Those who know me also know I'm a bit of a technophobe as well, so that's never good. Okay, so everybody knows that the usual sort of marketing is now failing, and everybody knows that, by usual marketing I mean sort of like leaflets, posters, junk mail, yellow pages. Remember that? Yeah. But everybody knows that there are so many internet marketing sharks out there as well, telling you that you need to be on page one of Google, or you need to spend hundreds or thousands of pounds on Facebook adverts to get any return on investment. And guess what? They're normally the ones that have got an overpriced product just for you as well. So it's pay-per-click SEO companies that cold call you, yellow pages, still trying to sell you space in something that pretty much props up people's garden furniture nowadays. Marketers that can build a website for you. Those are the type of people who peddle, I think is probably the best phrase, to the do nothing and get rich systems that really should just be looked at really as marketers who kind of market to the lowest common denominator. And unfortunately, those people are in every industry, in every niche. That's not what I aspire to be. Okay, what I aspire to be is I want to work with some of the top guys in each industry, in each niche. So a little bit about me. Hey, I used to be a driving instructor. Okay, please forgive me. I ceased to be a driving instructor at the end of this year. I used to be a bank manager. I used to be a retail manager. I've got lots of experience in lots of different jobs, and it wasn't until this year that I decided to do something in my 40s that I should have done in my 20s, which was get my MBA. And so I now am Mark Ford MBA, which makes me sound a little bit posh. But certainly over the last few years, I've been starting to work with lots more businesses and doing a lot more coaching with businesses. And some of the success that some of these businesses are seeing are absolutely phenomenal. Hence why I'm starting to do a lot more of the coaching, and I'm starting to do a lot more of these webinars. So I can just pass on some of these ideas to you guys to go out and use in your businesses. Because, small business people, self-employed people, entrepreneurial people, you know what, you're pretty special. It has to be said, you guys are pretty special because you've got something about you that makes you want to work for yourself. If you wanted a steady paycheck, you'd go and work for Sainsbury's, or you'd go and work for McDonald's, or you'd go and work for another business somewhere else. Okay, those are the two lowest denominators, I apologize, but you know what I'm getting. You go and work for somebody else, but no, you choose to take the risk every single day and you work for yourself, and the effort you put in hopefully gives you some great rewards that you put out. And that's a little bit about me, I guess. I want you to think that life's most brilliant ideas are probably the simplest done well. And actually this webinar, you're going to just sort of like walk away from this webinar tonight and you're going to kind of think, do you know what, those are pretty simple ideas. Why didn't I think of that? And that's what I want you to think. There are too many people out there that are overcomplicating methods. There are too many people out there that are trying to give you silver bullets, golden bullets, follow this system, follow that system, it will work. Look, every single business is complete individual business. If you lose the individuality of that business, you've lost the soul, you've lost the heart of that business. So what works for one business may not work for another. But these basic ideas pretty much run across everybody. And that's all it is. These are some basic ideas. That's all it is. So what I'm going to do through this webinar is I'm going to walk you through some really easy to follow, some really easy to implement, simple low-cost ideas. That's all it is. That's all I'm going to be doing in this webinar. I'm not going to be giving you anything that's going to cost you a small fortune. You're going to be a little bit surprised. So one of the first parts of building a business that can sell itself is clear identity. Okay, so if somebody comes up to you and they sort of like say, so what do you do then? I make websites, or you can insert any particular job into that little bit. You see, that happens a lot at networking events. I used to do it fact, I probably still do it, but I used to do that an awful lot. I'm a driving instructor, and to be perfectly honest, I may as well stick a post-it note in my head and say, please don't talk to me. Unfortunately, and here's a reality, there are lots of people who make websites in the same way. There are lots of people out there who try and sell driving lessons, electrical items, hotel rooms, fitness classes, weight loss products, wedding photography, etc., etc., infinitum. So why should people choose you? Now, it's fair to say lots of businesses fail to clearly communicate what they do, how they do it, and what the benefits are to their target market. And we're going to be running through some of this stuff. Their marketing communication is unbelievably vague, and it's this that prevents them from truly marketing themselves effectively and capturing the attention of their target audience. It's also fair to say that many people don't actually know who their target market is either, and we'll come on to that in a bit. So by vague, I mean I make websites, which leads to another question in a prospective client's head, such as what kind of websites? Why are they different? Why are they better than anybody else's? I do driving lessons. Well, why are they different to anybody else's? I sell weight loss products. Well, why are they different to X, Y, or Z? Why are they different to the natural health shops and stuff like that? It doesn't matter whether it's on their website, their email, their social media adverts, all their leaflets and posters. People need to answer for those sorts of follow-up questions. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to sort of like quickly, I'm just going to give you sort of like 20 seconds, go grab a pad or a piece of paper, or if you're really posh, your smartphone, if you're not listening to this on your smartphone, or your iPad or something like that. And I want you to answer these 4 questions. And there are reasons why I want you to answer these 4 questions, because it's a bit of a thought process, this. So I'm just going to give you a few more seconds. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, notepad, whatever. Okay, cool. All right. I can just imagine drawers being emptied and stuff chucked over people's shoulders and things like that right now. You see that pen? You see that pen? You never find a pen in this house when you need one. It's absolutely right, you can't. Okay. So, what do you do? Okay. So you don't have to do this now, but I want you to answer this question. What do you do? Who benefits? How do they benefit? And why do you do what you do? Now, out of all of those questions, the first 3 are pretty easy, I would have thought, I would assume, but the 4th one is a little bit more difficult, because actually people just kind of fall into industries, they kind of fall into jobs. And there's going to be a bit that will come up in the next slide, and it's a little bit of audio, and it's not me talking for a change, it'll be somebody else talking, okay? Now, although those first 3 questions seem fairly simplistic at first glance, knowing the answers to those questions unlocks any marketing power that you may have. And it will reduce your marketing cost, believe it or not, and help you communicate clearer with a simpler message to all of your clients and your prospective customers. See, answering those questions will help you identify the essence of the message that you're marketing. And if you're currently struggling to generate sales or finding new customers or clients, then this will more likely be one of the more fundamental causes as to why. So you've got to be clear and concise and only write in point form when you're answering those questions. Just points. You don't want to write big long-winded sentences. You're not writing War and Peace. Less is more in marketing. God, I sound like a marketer. That's terrible, isn't it? And the more specific you are, the healthier your bank balance, strangely, will look. And the easier it is to boost your sales, because you won't be actually spending as much on pointless advertising. It also clarifies to the customers and clients the types of sales that you want and helps you identify the type of business that you want to run. This is also a great exercise. It really is a good exercise to remind yourself of why you do what you do. And trust me, this is as important as what you do. Now I'm going to play you some audio. Hopefully this is going to work. Okay, this is taken from a TED video. It's a guy called Simon Sinek. Okay, and the video is it's done in 2009, so it's slightly dated, but he has written a book called Start With Why. I highly recommend that book. It's an excellent book. But he's going to give you, it's just about 5 minutes long, he's just going to give you a brief idea of exactly why the word why is really important.
There's a pattern. As it turns out, all the great and inspiring leaders and organizations in the world, whether it's Apple or Martin Luther King or the Wright brothers, they all think, act, and communicate the exact same way, and it's the complete opposite to everyone else. All I did was codify it. And it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle. Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do, 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. I use Apple because they're easy to understand and everybody gets it. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. And that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done, that's how most sales is done, and that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do, we say how we're different or how we're better, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's our new law firm. We have the best lawyers with the biggest clients. We have, we always perform for our clients, do business with us. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has, leather seats. Buy our car. But it's uninspiring. Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? You ready to buy a computer from me? All I did was reverse the order of the information. What it proves to us is that people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This explains why every single person in this room is perfectly comfortable buying a computer from Apple. But we're also perfectly comfortable buying an MP3 player from Apple, or a phone from Apple, or a DVR from Apple. But as I said before, Apple's just a computer company. There's nothing that distinguishes them structurally from any of their competitors. Their competitors are all equally qualified to make all of these products. In fact, they tried. A few years ago, Gateway came out with flat-screen TVs. They're eminently qualified to make flat-screen TVs. They've been making flat-screen monitors for years. Nobody bought one. And Dell came out with MP3 players and PDAs. And they make great quality products, and they can make perfectly well-designed products, and nobody bought one. In fact, talking about it now, we can't even imagine buying an MP3 player from Dell. Why would you buy an MP3 player from a computer company? But we do it every day. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. The goal is not to do business with everybody who needs what you have. The goal is to do business with people who believe what you believe. Here's the best part. None of what I'm telling you is my opinion. It's all grounded in the tenets of biology, not psychology, biology. If you look at a cross-section of the human brain, looking from the top down, what you see is the human brain is actually broken into three major components that correlate perfectly with the golden circle. Our newest brain, our Homo sapien brain, our neocortex, corresponds with the what level. The neocortex is responsible for all of our rational and analytical thought and language. The middle two sections make up our limbic brains, and our limbic brains are responsible for all of our feelings, like trust and loyalty. It's also responsible for all human behavior, all decision-making, and it has no capacity for language. In other words, when we communicate from the outside in, yes, people can understand vast amounts of complicated information like features and benefits and facts and figures. It just doesn't drive behavior. When we communicate from the inside out, we're talking directly to the part of the brain that controls behavior, and then we allow people to rationalize it with the tangible things we say and do. This is where gut decisions come from. You know, sometimes you can give somebody all the facts and your figures and they say, I know what all the facts and details say, but it just doesn't feel right. Why would we use that verb? It doesn't feel right. Because the part of the brain that controls decision-making doesn't control language. And the best we can muster up is, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Or sometimes you say you're leading with your heart or you're leading with your soul. Well, I hate to break it to you, those aren't other body parts controlling your behavior. It's all happening here in your limbic brain, the part of the brain that controls decision-making and not language.
See, I told you it was slightly dated on the basis that obviously they still were doing DVRs and PDAs back there. I can't even remember what a PDA looked like, actually, to be perfectly honest. But as you can see, the reason why you do something is so important that it can effectively just change our perception. If you think about the Apple and Samsung at the moment, is that Apple have such a great big hold on the smartphone and the tablet side of the industry that Samsung are actually apparently still bleeding money, even though in some sectors they would actually say their equipment is far superior to Apple. It's just that nobody's ever really bought into the reason why they should buy Samsung as opposed to Apple. So, you know, it can happen on a great big global scale, it can happen at a medium-sized scale, it can happen at a very small scale, it can happen at an individual scale. Okay, so what are you marketing? All right, so when it comes to sort of building a business that sells itself, you're marketing the business. But why are you marketing the business? Are you marketing the name? Not necessarily. See, winning businesses market themselves as a results-driven business. I'm going to change that slightly because there are businesses that are listening to this that are service-driven. Okay, so I would also sort of like try and put in there somewhere not only results but experience-driven. Okay, some of you may have read a blog that I wrote a few weeks ago about the Walt Disney experience. Yeah, let's be fair. If you go to Disneyland, you're not buying a product, you're buying an experience. And look how rich Walt Disney are, you know. So when it comes to services, you're buying that kind of experience because you'll want to go back. So if the experience is good enough, you'll end up going back time and time again, and it just sells itself. Simple as that. But so it's results-driven business or experience-driven business with a clear differentiation to the customer, to your competitors. So the reason why. Okay, so I'm going to take this website guy who's turned up at a networking event, and he says, we create state-of-the-art websites that guarantee an increase in, I should say in your, by the way, you can tell that I was quick on this, in your website traffic. So you see more clients and customers coming to your website rather than your competitors, because we believe that all small business websites should look professional and guarantee 50 times more income than you spent on it. Okay? Right, that's pretty, well, you could say that's a little bit bland, but let's actually take a closer look at that. Okay, I've just read it off the screen really effectively. Okay, so what does he do? Okay, we create state-of-the-art websites. He creates state-of-the-art websites, ladies and gentlemen. There you go, you know what he does, yeah? The next part's quite interesting because what he's doing is he's actually doing something that a lot of businesses don't do. And it's NLP. Anybody who's been on an NLP course will know far more about this than me, but it starts pre-programming people's brains. The person's actually then said that they guarantee. Okay, how many of you offer a guarantee in your business? You'd be surprised how that changes people's perceptions. I guarantee you that you're going to get these results. Wow, that's a really strong word. Okay, 30-day money back guarantee. That's pretty strong. It's pretty positive. Okay. Here's the result. Okay. So the result is you see more clients and customers coming to your website rather than your competitors. Yeah, I want that. I want that. Definitely, I want that, because I've got this website and it's not working very well. But I want more people coming to my website, more traffic coming to my website, more customers, more clients than my competitors. Definitely, that's exactly what I want. Okay, and here, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why. Because we believe that all small business websites should look professional and guarantee 50 times more income than you spent on it. Yeah, that's the reason why. Okay, that's across all their marketing. Yeah, and you were a small business, you would seriously consider doing business with them, because that's what they believe in. If that's what you want, yeah, they believe in that. The guarantee, there's a guarantee in there, guarantee 50 times more income than you spent on it. If you spend £1,000 but you got 50 grand back, oh yeah, you'd be a happy bunny. You really would. So you'd probably end up doing business with that individual. See, it's been proven over and over again, yeah, that people buy outcomes and people buy from people. So we're going to start looking quickly at how you are marketing your business. What sort of channels are you looking at? Now, I want you just to think about this, because this is going to become quite key in a moment. There's going to be some questions I'm going to throw at you, okay? And this is all towards you building a business that sells itself, all right? Because if you're marketing in the wrong channels, you are wasting money, you're wasting your time, you are wasting your effort. Okay, who are you marketing your business to? Okay, you've probably heard it over and over again that you've got to find your niche in a business and you must stick to it. And do you know what? They are absolutely right. They couldn't be more right if they tried. The success of your marketing hinges on it, and the cost to your business hinges on it as well. You see, if you're trying to market to everybody, then absolutely nobody hears you. Okay, I'm going to give you some permission now. Okay, I'm going to give you my permission, Mark Ford's permission, for you to not sell to everybody. It's okay. You don't have to do it. All right? You just simply become part of the noise that everybody is so desperately trying to tune out from. It's an absolute scattergun approach, and really, genuinely, it's okay not to sell to everybody. You can't please everyone. Not everyone will like what you do, what you sell, or even why you do it. However, when you market to a very, very clear demographic, achieving a cut through becomes dramatically easier and cheaper, because you're being specific. Okay? So I'm going to do a little bit more digging. Okay? I want you to answer this question. Again, you can write it down now if you want, or you can write it down later. Who are you passionate about helping? Oh, that was the wrong one. Sorry, I told you. I knew I was going to press the wrong button. I apologize. I pressed the wrong button. Okay. Who are you passionate about helping? What is the average age of those people? Now, this is interesting. All right. You might need to research this a little bit more. And I'm going to give you an example. All driving instructors, doesn't matter who you're talking to, all seem to think that they are marketing to the average age of a 17-year-old. How completely wrong can they be? Okay, because actually a driving instructor's customer is either, it can be the 17-year-old, completely agree, but it's also the parents, and it's also their local community. Because a good driving instructor, for example, will be involved with his community, involved with road safety, helping the community to make their road safer. Okay, all of a sudden, hang on, I'll probably give the driving instructors who are listening to this a little bit of an idea, because actually you're marketing yourself. Yeah, you just have to start writing pieces about local bad roads, about parking at school times and things like that. You are a community person. You are working in a community. You want to help your community. So this is what I mean. The average age group of your people, all right, can be a little bit tricky depending on what you want, on who you want to target. Okay. Are they male or female? Yeah, in some categories that's going to be fairly obvious, I would have thought. What do they read? Okay. Do they read The Sun or do they read The Telegraph? Do they read FHM or do they read GQ? Do they read Hello Magazine or Vanity Fair? Okay. Think about books as well. Do they read self-help books? Yeah. Do they read fiction? Stuff like that. Do they read car manuals? I've once met somebody who did that. Not an interesting conversation, but do you know what I mean? Okay. What do they read? Start getting inside their head a little bit. What websites and social media do they consume? Now, this is a key one, absolutely key. Okay. If your business is a B2B, business to business, okay, are those people, and you want high end, so say they earn over 100 grand a year or whatever, are those people going to be faffing about on Facebook? Probably not. Are they going to be faffing around on Twitter? Might be. Could they be on LinkedIn? Could well be. Yeah. If you're a B2C, so business to customer, okay, think about where your customer would go. So if we go back to the adage of the driving instructor, absolutely, they want to target 17-year-olds. Great, Facebook. You want to target for under 17s, you want to target under 17s, probably Facebook. Okay, Twitter maybe, things like that. Okay. But if you're then starting to look at their parents, maybe Facebook, but maybe they're more active in some of the local selling groups rather than just sort of like random adverts. Okay. Do they go to Groupon? Do they go to Groupon? Okay. Are they on Groupon? Do they go to BBC News? Things like that. Think about what sort of social media they consume. Where do they hang out? Where do they hang out? The amount of people that I've met that advertise their business in the local parish magazine and pay £600 a year for it, for a readership of about 120 people. Seriously? Honestly? It's like how much money people are still spending on Yellow Pages. Nobody reads the book. It's honestly, it's outside my house at the moment, propping up the garden table. It really is. So start considering where these people hang out. Do they sort of like hang out? Do you want to go and meet them? You know, if it's B2B, business to business, are they at networking events? Are they at breakfast meetings? Are they at trade shows? Yeah. B2C, what sort of events do they go to? Have you got a penchant for sport, for instance? Do they go to local football matches, local rugby matches, things like that? Start thinking about where those people start hanging out. What do they want? What is the result that they want? Yeah, what's the result? What is the result they want? All right. Do they want to be rich? Do they want to be mobile? Do they want to be traveling? Do they want to be educated? What do they need? Want and need are two different things, but what do they need? Do they want money? Do they want transportation? Do they want a better job? What do they fear? That's an interesting one to start thinking about. Are they fearing that getting broke? Are they fear getting left behind? The mates will move away, things like that. Social mobility, they can't afford that nice new house, that nice new car. What do they fear? They can't keep up with the Joneses. What keeps them tossing and turning at night? Yeah. What worries will your business solve for them? Seriously, what will it solve for? What worries will it solve? So do you see how important this stuff is to creating a business that sells itself? See, you have to know who and why your customers buy from you in the first place. Have to. You have to. Knowing your niche makes you very, very different from the rest. Okay, now there was going to be a Shreddies video here.
This is the most perfect case of creating intangible added value without changing the product in the slightest. Shreddies is a strange square whole grain cereal only available in New Zealand, Canada and Britain. It's Kraft's peculiar way of rewarding loyalty to the crown. In working out how you could relaunch Shreddies, he came up with this.
Shreddies is supposed to be square.
Have any of these diamond shapes gonna...
New Diamond Shreddies cereal. Same 100% whole grain wheat in a delicious diamond shape.
No! I'm not sure this is the most perfect example of intangible value creation. All it requires is photons, neurons, and a great idea to create this thing. And I have to say, it's a work of genius, but naturally you can't do this kind of thing without a little bit of market research.
So Shreddies is actually introducing a new product, which is something very exciting for them. So they're introducing new Diamond Shreddies. Is interesting. So I just want you to look at the box there. So I just want to get your first impressions when you see that, and you see the Diamond Shredding box there.
Are they square?
I'm a little bit confused.
They look like squares.
It's all in the appearance, but it's kind of like thinking about a 6 or a 9, like a 6. You flip it over, it looks like a 9, but a 6 is very different from a 9. And M and a W, exactly.
Actually, when you don't see, like when I sat there, I think you just look like you turn on its end, but when you see like that, it's more interesting. Like you
just try both of them. Take a square one there first.
First one.
The first one.
Now, everybody sells roughly the same service, the same product from their nearest competitor. So again, I'm going to use driving instructors, for instance. Okay, everybody assumes that a driving instructor sells a driving lesson. Yeah, they sell time, they sell that value of that time in that hour's lesson. Okay, it's very difficult to differentiate yourself unless you have a niche. Okay. Now, where the Shreddies comes in is it's in its simplest form of how you can repackage something that is exactly the same as everything else. If you've really thought about it, how different could you make your business compared to those around you? All right, by answering some of those questions and really working out who your niche market is. Okay. So here are 4 things that I want you to think about. If your business were a person, what kind of person would it be? Would it be beautiful? Would it be pretty? Would it be good looking? A bit like myself. Yeah. Would it be slick? Would it be hipster? And if you don't know what a hipster is, I've only just been introduced to hipster. It's pretty much blokes with beards, I think, if I'm honest. What kind of personality would it possess? Would it be loud? Would it be, hello? Would it be loud? Would it be opinionating? Hello? Would it be caring? Would it be trustworthy? What kind of personality would your business possess? How does it engage with other people? Okay. Does it engage with humor? Is it on a one-to-one basis? Is it serious? Is it just through the internet? How does it engage with people? The tone. Yeah, is it strictly business, or is it a little bit fun, a little bit quirky? Yeah. What would its top 3 brand values be? So by brand values, I mean, would it passion, brilliant, ballsy, that type of thing? Think of some adjectives. It's a posh word to be using on a Wednesday night, but think of some adjectives. All right, what is its top 3 brand values? What would its top 3 personality traits be? So whether it's funny, quirky, straight talking, yeah, all those sorts of quite sexy words, yeah. Are you starting to think that I'm trying to make you think that you can stand out from people, because it's selling itself. Yeah, you get this right, it's going to sell itself, folks. So why am I doing this? Because this is what all the successful multinational companies do. Already talked about Apple. All right, let's take Virgin, for instance, okay? Virgin is fun. They're adventurous. They're cost saving, okay? That's what we know. And if you look at Richard Branson and Virgin are kind of interchangeable, yeah? You either think Virgin or you think Richard Branson. You either think Richard Branson or you think Virgin, yeah? They're kind of interchangeable. But it's fun, it's adventurous, it's cost saving. See, businesses that don't sell themselves typically do so because their message isn't unique. It isn't memorable, and it's trying to be everything to everyone. I'm trying to make you think differently about your business so that you can just start telling people about your business in a very, very different way. Your message absolutely needs to be everywhere, okay? Across what you do, what you say, and by what you say, I mean in a networking environment, but I also mean online as well, okay? Online is probably the biggest gift. Social media, for instance, probably the biggest gift most businesses have been given in probably the last 20 years. However, it can also be the biggest curse because things can come back and bite you on your backside. Simple as that. You go around slagging off a rival, it will come back, it will undo you because people will remember. It's there, it's in print, it's out there, people can copy it, people can paste it, it's all over the place. So if you have a unique brand, if your brand is honesty, you need to be honest. You need to be honest online all the time. What you do in the privacy of your own home is entirely up to you. But when you're talking business and your brand is honesty, you need to be talking with honesty. So it's also got to go across what you publish. So in your materials, your brochures, your leaflets, your business cards, okay? It's got to be everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Otherwise, it's just going to get really confusing. So look, I've been using this with businesses that I coach on a one-to-one basis, and that's why I know that this is working, all right? One actually saw their business increase by 60% in 3 weeks. So the stuff that I've given you tonight, all right, they actually went away. They went away and they went and thought about it for a week, and they came back and we did a little bit of work on it, and they started promoting it across all their businesses, and they saw their business increase 60% in 3 weeks. That's huge. Another one has actually achieved their year's goals in 4 months. 4 months. Admittedly, I've got to find something else for them to do for the next 8. All right, but it's seen them. This is all this stuff. I'm not kidding you. All this stuff has seen them achieve their year's goals in 4 months. And one guy has made some more money in the first 3 months after he started doing some of this, is that they could actually have a month off and a holiday for the first time in 20 years. Wow. That was amazing. That was just phenomenal for them. And all they've done is they've worked through some of the stuff, well, all of the stuff that you've worked through and a bit more, but they've worked through all that stuff. And they've got referrals coming out their ears. You know, when you have a business that sells itself, all right, when you are spending very, very little on marketing, all right, because your message is getting out crystal clear. It's got to keep going out. You've got to live it. You've got to breathe it. But it's going to go out there because people will refer. And referrals are brilliant, okay? Referrals are probably the oldest source of marketing and probably the most underrated in the world, okay? We have what's known as social proof, yeah? That's kind of, that's just basically referrals via internet. That's all that is nowadays, okay? But referrals, in fact, the last time you had a referral, any of you that are listening to this, okay, last time you had a referral from one of your customers, one of your clients, and they got you a new customer or they got you a new client, when was the last time they argued about price? They probably didn't, okay? So here's the thing. I'm going to let you into a little secret, okay? If they don't argue about price, okay, put your price up, okay? Put your price up, all right? You're not being disloyal, okay? They're buying it. They've already seen the value of what you offer. Put your price up. Simple as that. Okay. I've got one driving instructor that has done that. Okay. He was on £20 an hour. £20 an hour, ladies and gentlemen. 12 months ago. £20 an hour. They are now on £33 an hour, all right, which is a huge difference. So potentially he is earning over £10,000 more this year than he did last year. Okay, and here's the thing. He had a waiting list at £20 an hour, and you would probably say, yes, he should have a waiting list at £20 an hour, because I'd have a waiting list at £20 an hour as well, because it's dirt cheap. Okay, it's the quick save or the Aldi or the Lidl of being a driving instructor. Okay, he's now at £33 an hour. Okay, he's still got a waiting list. In fact, he's got a longer waiting list, because the people that are buying from him, that are taking those lessons up, that are using his service, okay, are seeing the value of that service. Okay, and actually it's a psychological thing as well, because actually for you guys, if you do that, I know it sounds a bit daft, but psychologically it boosts your confidence. It's a daft thing, it really is. It actually boosts your confidence in your own ability and the service or the product that you're providing for that customer. Okay, so look, I'm going to give you a personal invitation. Okay, what would you say to working with me and have a very simple to implement, simple to follow 30-day program that could boost you and your business now? Okay, seriously, I'm being totally serious. You've taken time out of your day to watch this webinar, so I am giving you this personal invitation. So what would you say to working with me and a simple to implement, simple to follow 30-day program that could boost you and your business now? Okay, what would a successful 2016 look like to you? Yeah, start thinking about it. What this time next year, what would you like to have achieved? What's your number one goal for this time next year? Okay, what would happen if I could help you get there? Yeah, what would you say? Yeah, if I could help you get there, all right, but it costs less than a high street coffee a day. Yeah, that's not a lot of money, is it? That is not a lot of money. If it's to an extra 10 grand next year, I can help you do that. If you want to get an extra holiday you've always dreamt of, I can help you do that as well. It's dead simple. So what have you got to lose? Honestly, you've spent some time with me tonight, and actually hopefully you sat there and you're thinking, do you know what, this is kind of making sense to me. If it's not making sense to you, apologize. You can drop me some messages on Facebook, you can get in touch via email or anything like that, and I'll be more than happy to run things through with you. It's no worries. Okay, so what have you got to lose? Okay, because this program, and it's a slim down program that I'm going to give you the invitation for, but it's the stuff that I'm doing with clients on a one-to-one basis. So I'm giving you a little bit of a taster of this right now. Okay, so as a thank you, and I genuinely as a thank you, all right, because most people just don't take the time to educate themselves the way that you are tonight. All right, you sat here, you're watching this webinar. You really got commitment and you've got some determination to do really great things with your business, and that's why you're absolutely perfect for this. You really are, guys. You're perfect for this, and it's designed specifically for people who are going to take some action and who want results and get that profit, get those extra customers, get those extra sales. This is what this is all about. Get a business that sells itself. Yeah, you get a business that sells itself, by God, your life's going to be easier. Simple as that. So as a thank you, what I want to do is I want to give you the Fresh Perspective, okay, which is going to be in the form of book, daily emails, okay, so you're going to get reminders every day, every 24 hours, you need to be doing something, all right, it's going to take about an hour a day, tops, okay, and if you commit to it, all right, you stick it in your diary, you commit to it, I'm telling you, the results are fantastic. The results are like those other three guys. On this one, we've had the alpha testers. This is the beta version now. Just makes it sound posh. The alpha testers are going to go through the beta version again, which launches next Monday. Okay, so they're going to go through it all again. They're going to get all this, but the three guys that went through it, those are the results that came from that. Okay, you're going to get some exclusive videos. All right, these are specially recorded videos that go with this program. You can have exclusive downloads, easy to download. You can have exclusive templates, exclusive workbooks and reports. You can download these. You can look at them on your laptop. You can look at them on your PC. You can look at them on your phone. You can look at them on your tablet. You can print them off. You can do them old-fashioned if you wish, and put them in a ring binder, and then cover that ring binder and say my ring binder on them. No, I'm going a little bit too far now. Used to do that at school. Stupid. All right. Plus, you're actually going to get an audio book version of this if you go for one of the top 3 packages. All right, you're going to get an audio book version. All right, so every day you're going to go to a secret website page. Okay, that'll be linked from the email. You go to the secret website page, which is where all the downloads, all the templates, all the videos, all the workbooks, all the reports are, and you can only access them. Only you. Nobody else, just you. Only you can access them, but there'll be an audio book. So you can actually hear, and the audio book is read by me. How weird is that? You're gonna have my voice in your lugholes, yeah, every day. So actually you can just go up to the bar and you can click download, and you can download it onto your MP3 player, as Simon Sinek would call it, or you can download it to your tablet, or you can download it to your laptop, or download it to your PC, which is kind of cool. Plus, on the top 2 packages, I'm giving you the chance for either a 30-minute or a 1-hour Skype with myself. Okay, we will arrange it, we will sit down, and these Skype sessions I'm going to call Profit Power. Okay, I'm going to be looking with you at your business. I'm going to send you, we're going to arrange the date, we're going to arrange the time, I'm going to send you a little bit of a questionnaire so I get a little bit of a feel for where your business is right now, where you think your growth areas are, and we're going to spend half an hour, or we're going to spend an hour, and we're going to start going through certain sections of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and squeeze as much profit out of your business as possible, and look at some really quick wins, some low-hanging fruit that you can deal with there and then that day, get them sorted, earn yourself some more money that you completely deserve. So that's a 1-to-1 Skype session with myself.